I was at Pilates today, and we were doing this stretch where you lay over this Bosu ball. It's like a half of a ball, and you lay over it and just like put your arms out and just stretch your back and neck. And as I was doing that, we were like twisting, and the most intense feeling. I had something happened. I released something within my neck that made me want to just bawl. Like, it wasn't like a pain or anything, but it was like an emotional, I just wanted to start crying. And I had a tear come down, and I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? I mean, I get what was going on. I totally understand it. But it was so unexpected. And I didn't want to just like start bawling in Pilates. And so I held it back, and I went after the class, and I told the instructor, I was like, oh my gosh, I just like had an emotional release, like something just wanted to release from me. And she says that happens. She's like, she sees it all the time, and she's like, just let it out, just cry, just release it. And I mean, and it's kind of difficult whenever you're in a studio with a bunch of people. You know, I didn't want to just like start bawling, but so I held it in. And she's like, can I just give you a hug? And so she hugged me, and tears just started pouring out of me. We carry so much, like that was such what is even the word? Like, I just realized, even again, like I know these things, but it just like reaffirmed that we carry so much emotion within us, within our bodies. Like, it's just stored in us. And for my whole life, I've stored a lot within my neck and within my shoulders. Like, the weight of the world, it just gets so heavy and tight, and I get pain and stuff. And so whenever I felt that and I just wanted to release it, you know, now I'm in so much pain because of whatever happened, and I held on to it. So like, I've got this big sob and this big cry that just wants to release out of me, and I've been holding it back. It's just so amazing. So I need to cry. I need to sit here and just cry. But it's sometimes hard to just make it happen. We have to like get into that state. But it was very interesting. Like, if you have emotional, we all do. We just all do. And so stretching, yoga, Pilates, just anything that helps us to stretch our muscles, that just gets deep in there, because oh my gosh, it's so incredible. You know, and I get it. I totally know and understand. You know, I've got a lot of heaviness in my life right now that I carry, and I see, I'm so aware. You know, life has challenges. Life is challenging. That's what it is all about. I mean, it really truly is. We're here to learn how to handle our challenges in this life. And we're given them over and over and over to help us practice, to learn tools to use to surrender. It's really, it's all in the surrendering it all over to God. Every day we have a new opportunity. Every day I'm given a new chance to wake up in gratitude, to recognize all the blessings, all the incredible abundance that is in my life. And I'm given an opportunity to, like, where am I going to focus my attention? What am I going to focus it on? Because over the past few days, I've been feeling heavy, and the passing of my mom was yesterday. 10 years ago, my mom passed away. And the grief it's real, and I could feel it. But I recognized that I allowed myself to get pulled into the sadness. We have that within us. And so there's such a fine line between getting sucked into our emotions and sucked into our feelings and wallowing in them and attaching to them, identifying with them. There's a huge difference between that and letting ourselves just process, allowing ourselves, recognizing it, allowing it, going through it. There really is a huge difference. Like, it's what is our mind focused on? So yesterday I spent time on my balcony just in meditation. I spent time painting, just being creative, artistic. I felt like that was a good thing to do. I could look at it and be like, well, maybe was I numbing myself out through that, we can analyze everything and we can make ourselves sick. Or we can release everything, we can surrender it all and keep our eye focused on our gratitude, on the goodness, on the growth. It's really, where is our mind? What are we focused on? Where are our eyes facing? Like, what is it? Because life is challenging. It really is challenging. I think that we all have seasons of rest. Like, we'll get seasons of things are good, like it's all good. And then all of a sudden, one thing after another will start happening, and it's just like, is it ever gonna stop? Like, how it can get very overwhelming to our minds, to our bodies, making us heavy. It can affect the way that we think. It can bring us into negativity. It can bring us into why. It can just bring us into a lot of that kind of stuff. And I'm really learning from my own experience of being surrounded by a lot of different challenges in many different ways, that it doesn't have to suck us into it. Like, we can still have gratitude. We can, like, I can only be as well for other people. I have to take care of myself. We have to take care of our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual selves, so that we can be in a place where we can have gratitude, where we can look at challenging situations and see the growth, not get stuck in all of the depression and the anxiety and the paralysis and just all of it. And it is work to do that. It takes a lot of awareness. It takes a lot of time in sitting in meditation, sitting in stillness, where we can recognize our thoughts, recognize what our own thoughts are doing to us. Because our lives, it's all in our heads. It really, our lives the way that we see the world, the way that we're living in the world, just all of it is really how we're processing things. And it's a lot just like what we learned, you know, from our own parents, from their parents and their parents. It's generational stuff. And it's common to be aware. It's common to learn how to cope with life in healthy, productive, positive, good, high vibrational, healthy ways. And I am a work in progress. I am not perfect at it. Every day I wake up, every day I have opportunities to make choices. Sometimes I do really great. Other days I'm like, man, I did not do too great that day. But it's all about growth and progress and moving closer and closer to God. Making choices that bring us closer and closer to Him. And He's gonna show us. He does. He shows us. I've had a big thing in my life that I've had a challenge with is the codependent behaviors of wanting to control other people around me. I want other people around me to be happy and to be healthy and to be well, and I haven't been able to even help people because I have not been that way myself. Yet I think that I know what is best for everyone around me. You know, it's kind of funny. But as He helps me to remove the beams that are in my eyes, or the motes, whatever it is, the wood that is within my eyes, as He helps me to do that, I'm just able to see other people's clearly and just love them with it in their eyes. And I don't have to pull it out. I don't have to like yank on the wood in other people's eyes and pull it out for them. It's something that only God can do for us and help us to do for ourselves. Because the control is a huge thing. We all, in all of our own different kinds of ways, that is the biggest thing is our control. And as we just surrender, as we just give it over, as we give our thoughts over, as we just give our lives over and go where He wants us to go, and do the things that He wants us to do. You know, I'm sitting out here in the back of my car on the lake. There's a lake back there. You know, my situation at home is just challenging, and I've always been one who I need a corner. I need my own little space. I need a closet. I need to be able to be alone and sit and think and meditate and just have that space. And it's like right now we've got workers painting all of the balconies and the rails and everything. And so I've got people in my backyard, and then I've got living situation where I don't have the space today like I need and that I want. And so we have to adjust with that, you know. I could sit and moan and groan and complain and, you know, and be all aggravated and frustrated and irritated and impatient, and I have felt that way within myself. But as I surrender it over and I allow God to just work in my life, He's giving me opportunities to do things differently, to see things differently. He's giving other people in my life opportunities to grow and to experience things. And I don't have to control it. I don't have to make it what I think it should be. I can allow God to work in my life in miraculous ways, and sometimes it gets uncomfortable. We don't like things to be uncomfortable. We like things to be how they are, you know. From the time that I was a little kid, I just liked to sit behind the couch in my own little world, in the closet, in my room, all by myself, you know. And maybe that season is maybe God is needing me to not. He's like, nope. But I'm like, well, I'm gonna go sit in the back of my car by the river, by the bayou, lake, whatever. And this is where I am today. This is where he has me, with the breeze and sharing and just recognizing. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. I just have so much gratitude in my heart. And I think that as we keep the gratitude number one in our life, just wake up with gratitude no matter what's happening in our lives, he just is able to work with us easier. He's able to help mold us a little easier. You know, we're a little bit more pliable. We're able to see and follow the Spirit in our lives. And I'm just very grateful for that. Life isn't always exactly how we want it to be or how we think that it should be. But that doesn't mean that it's not exactly perfectly how it needs to be for us, for the people around us, for our growth, for what God wants us to be and to become. And, you know, it's all about love. It's all about finding that love for ourselves, having patience with ourselves, having patience with others. It's just learning to be a channel of his grace and of his love. And we become that as we have that for ourselves, with ourselves in our lives. And all of it, all of the challenges, all of the difficulties, all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the heaviness, darkness, just sorrow, grief, all of it is for us. It's not happening to us, it's happening for us. And whenever we can recognize that and come to really experience that within ourselves, like know it with our souls, then it's like we can just release everything to God and just be so grateful for the journey, grateful for what he's letting us experience in this life, all of it. I'm very grateful. It is hard. I shared something yesterday on Facebook. It was a picture of like grief, like someone artistically created like this wire, this form of a person using wire, and within it were just rocks. And it's just like a representation of grief and how heavy grief is. And you know, the hard, painful, heavy moments in our lives, it strengthens us. It develops character. We have opportunities to experience things that strengthen us, that give us experience to where we can help to hold up others. You know, we have experience, we go through things so that we're able to help people around us. But we really have to help ourselves. We really have to be able to take the time to get the beams and the motes and all that kind of stuff out of our own eyes, we have to work on ourselves to be able to do that for other people. And not in a selfish kind of way. It's not, there's so much in the world today that it is me, 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 me. I need to take time for me. I need to focus on me. I need to do me, 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 me. What is going to help me? And it can become a very self-centered. I know, I've experienced it, so I recognize it. And there is a balance in it. There is a balance in taking time for ourselves, to recover ourselves, to be healthy ourselves, so that we can be healthy for other people. And it all starts with the simple things. It all starts with taking care of our body, putting good, healthy, living, good stuff in us, exercising it, whatever that is for you, because we all have different challenges, limitations, and everything. Whatever you can do, if that means walking, if that means just sitting up, if that means whatever that means for you, do something for your physical body to move it. Water is so important. Sunlight is so important. It's just the simple little things that we've heard forever, and we don't do it. And I think because it's so simple. But it's really taking the time to sit still. Our world is very busy and so many distractions. I mean, our phones, we can just be so caught up in our phones, in all of the social media, and just all the hits. It's just all the dopamine that we're getting, from social media. It's very addictive, and it's just recognizing that we need to sit still. We need to sit and listen and be in meditation, pray, be in the scriptures and in good books and in just good stuff that lifts us and helps us. Because this world is heavy. This world is very heavy and dense and dark and can be very depressing. And at the same time, it is so light and loving and bright and amazing and miraculous. And it's just, where are you focused? What are we focused on? Are we focused on life, or are we focused on death? It really, that's what our choices really come down to. Life, living fully, as fully as we possibly can, with our own issues and limitations. Living life or dying. Are we making choices that are making us sick and more depressed, more anxious? Are we watching the news 24/7 and all of the anxiety of all of the craziness that's out there? Or are we listening to really uplifting music? It's what are we feeding ourselves with? All of those things, they matter. They matter to our life. They matter. So I'm sitting out here with the wind blowing, and it just feels so good, and the birds, and just, it's find places, find what works for you. It's going to be different for absolutely everybody. But we have to do it. We have to make the time. Because if we don't make the time, our bodies, our minds, and our spirit is going to force us. We will have mental breakdowns. We will get sick. We will be diseased. We will have to have surgeries. We will have to have... All these things are going to happen to our bodies when we ignore them, whenever we abuse them, when we don't do the simple things to take care of them. Where's your focus? So I'm gonna sit here in quiet meditation and see what all that emotion is within my body, and if it's ready to release, then I hope it releases, and if not, I know it's there. I know we all have stuff that needs to release from us. And I'm just so grateful to be aware of that, to know, to share. So thanks for watching if you watch me. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful that I have a place to just voice things that hopefully can help one other person out there. So I love you. Like, I love whoever spends time with me. I'm grateful, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your time that you share with me.